I'm one of those people that used to fight with my friends and say, my parents are the best parents. And I expected them to say, no, mine were. And I was always shocked when they didn't. Many of you know I come from a family of firefighters. I told Sharon, this is the one time you'll see this, because I don't get emotional. I'm a hard bitch. I am. I am, but when it comes to my family, I'll get emotional, but then I'll kick your ass in front of me. I come from a family of firefighters. Mother, father, sister, brother, aunts, uncles, cousins, even my grandparents were firefighters. Over 500 years of service to the fire department in New York. But in Long Island, we have volunteers. And all those years of service were in addition to the years of service to their jobs. My father was in construction. My mother worked as a nurse. But if the call came at 2 o'clock in the morning, they went. If the call came in the middle of dinner, they went. If the call came while my dad was building a house, he dropped his tools and he went. This is the environment I grew up in. I learned about service. I watched my family do this all my life. The sound of a fire radio is music to my ears. The smell of burnt wood is my favorite smell, next to the smell of sawdust. Most of you know that I'm never on time. My girls can tell you I don't do anything on time, ever. I am always late. Has anybody ever been late? Thank you. Oh my gosh, really? Never? Seriously? Wow. I don't know, I can't do it. I was 30 minutes late to my own wedding. True. And I miss flights all the time. And there was a time when I had to practice 20 minutes east of here, and I had to practice 1,000 miles south of here. I used to commute between New York and Atlanta on a weekly basis. I'd be in the office in New York Monday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning. Race to LaGuardia, hop on a plane, fly to Atlanta, and get to the office in Atlanta in time to see patients Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and Monday morning so that I could turn around and race back to do it again. This was going on for an entire summer, and I had hired some doctors from my office in New York. And the week of Labor Day, my husband-to-be and I were supposed to be closing on a house. So I took a few extra days and I said, you know what? Tuesday's a slow day in my New York office. I'll come back Tuesday afternoon. I won't come back Monday afternoon. So that was the plan. And Tuesday morning comes and we sleep in. We didn't hear the alarm. So I said, you know what? I'm going to be waiting all day. I'll just call my staff. I'll have them cover the office and I'll catch a later flight. As we're about to walk out the door, my husband-to-be's Nextel goes off. And it's a woman saying, hey, did Kathy leave yet? And I'm thinking, what's going on here? And he says, no, why? And she says, she's not going anywhere. The tower's collapsed. And I said, that's not funny. We turned on the TV, and all I heard was the EPIRBs, that loud piercing sound that you remember. And all I thought was who was dead and who was alive. I had no idea if my brother was dead or alive. I had no idea if my cousins were dead or alive. But instinctively, I knew that one of my close friends was dead. I don't know how I knew, but I knew he was gone. It took me hours to get through to my family. I found out that my brother had been working, but he had been relieved early that morning, and he was out east with my dad, thank God, working. I talked to my mother and she said, it's bad. She said, don't try to come home, just stay there. I said, no, I'll rent a car, I'll come home. My dad got on the phone, and when a man who has been a firefighter for more than 40 years at that point tells you it's bad, don't come home, you know it's bad. When the plane started flying again, I was on one of the first flights out. And flying from Atlanta, including the stewardesses and the pilots, there were no more than 10 of us on the plane. As we're flying from Atlanta, we get over Virginia, and I see this faint band of light tan smoke. And then we start to get a little bit closer to New York, and the band gets narrower. We get a little bit closer, and it gets narrower. As we start to get over New Jersey, the band starts to get to be dark brown and narrower. And as we get over LaGuardia, you can literally watch the smoke funnel down into the ground, into the hole where the towers once stood. When I walked out of LaGuardia, the smell of smoke almost knocked me over. And I tried to go to my practice, but most of my patients were gone. I saw firefighters, police officers, and city sanitation workers. They were either at the pile or in the pile. I went to my friend's funeral, and about the only thing I could think to do was what Dr. Sid taught us. You serve your way out of it. So from the funeral, I went directly to Ground Zero. I've never told this story, so it's a little bit emotional for me, obviously. I went right there, and I just said, I'm here to help, whatever I need to do. And the New York Chiropractic Council at the time had set up relief efforts. But they didn't know where to send me. So they sent me on a walking tour for a little while, trying to figure out where to go. They put me in an ambulance, and they tried to drive me around to find where to go. And I turned to the driver, and I am a New Yorker, true and true. Raised in New York, used to live in Times Square, and my driver is driving me, and I don't know where I am in my own city, and I say to him, I'm so lost, I don't remember a park being here. And he says, what park? I said, this black dirt we're driving on, I don't remember a park down here. He said, Doc, we're on the West Side Highway. The rubble was so thick, the dirt was so thick that it seemed like we were driving through a field. The first day I get down there, and they have no table set up for us. There's no place to adjust. I go to St. Joseph's College, and they set me up in a room, and they say, Doc, we don't even have a sign. They draw a sign, the doctor's upstairs. And one by one, people start coming up, and they just keep coming, and they just keep coming, and they just keep coming. And this is in the very first days after 9/11, when we still thought that we had 50,000 people in the bottom of that pile. And I'm talking FBI agents, Secret Service agents, steel workers, firefighters, police officers, sanitation workers, people that just came to give their all. And the things they told me that I will never repeat and take to the grave are things they couldn't tell their own wives, but they felt they could confide in me. And I realized that all those years of service that I watched my parents and my brother and my sister and my cousins and my grandparents do, and that I so desperately wanted to do as a kid. I wanted to be a firefighter, but my father said no because I was way too boy crazy. I became a chiropractor because the boy crazy girl that I was said, well, there's good looking guys in chiropractic school. And here I was, you see, yeah, there I see you snuck in. And so there I was, serving the people that I had watched all my life, looked up to all my life, and admired all my life. That first night, I was supposed to leave at about 10 o'clock, but the people kept coming in. 12 o'clock, but the people kept coming in. 2 o'clock, and the people kept coming in. At 4 o'clock, 2 New York City officers said, Doc, you're going home, and we're taking you home. It's late. You've been here for over 12 hours. You've got to go get some sleep. But I kept saying, how can I go to sleep when these guys are sleeping on concrete tonight? I can't go home and sleep in a soft bed. I don't have a conscience. I can't do that. And they said, we're not letting you stay. We're taking you back to Brooklyn. So as we start walking down the stairs, there's more people coming up. Can I just get one more adjustment? Just one more? I'm adjusting people on the stairs in the college. I spent the next 3 months down there. 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Because for me, I couldn't be anywhere else. I couldn't be in my office. I couldn't be in the comfort of my home. I couldn't be anywhere else because we are called to serve. As chiropractors, we have a calling. As CAs, as students, as spouses, you hear that calling. And you know that when the time comes, You don't think about yourself, you think about what needs to be done. And if I have the ability in these hands to do it, then it is my responsibility to go do it. That was an honor to me to get to do that for 3 months. It was a privilege, it was a blessing. I was in the right place at the right time to help people through what they were going through. You all have those opportunities in your life, every one of you. No matter where you are in life, no matter what you've done, no matter who you think you are or who you want to become, every one of you have opportunities that are far bigger than you have ever envisioned for yourself. But it takes a leap of faith. Sometimes we have to step out of our comfort zone and do something that's a little bit sketchy and a little bit scary and a little bit different and a little bit difficult. But you know what? The best fruit's not on the low limbs, because that's already been picked clean. You got to reach up there. You got to reach higher. You got to reach further. You got to do better. You got to get out of your comfort zone so that you can be so much better and you can do so much more and you can help more people. If you're a CA, it looks like this. You start talking to the people coming into your office about how can we get your family under care? How can we get your children under care? How can we get your neighbors to understand this paradigm that we live in, that health does not come from the outside in, but it comes from inside out. That is the only way that health happens, and we need to start teaching our communities, and every one of us needs to step it up. It's not going to be easy, but it'll be worth it. Because when you start stepping up your game and you start seeing a world around you of unsubluxated, unmedicated, healthy, happy individuals, your community will start to thrive. And people will wonder what's going on in your town. When you step out of your town and you step out into the world of the profession and you start professing what it is that we do, which is connecting man, the physical, with man, the spiritual, allowing the body and the health to flow from above, down, inside, out. When you start teaching that and getting out here into the profession and professing that life is beautiful, there is nothing bigger than life, and that the body needs no help, just no interference. You start teaching another generation. You start cultivating the leaders that we need. Because in order to honor those beautiful women who came before us, Maxine, Rose, Kathy, Cynthia, Sharon, we have to be better than we were yesterday. But we can't stop at just honoring them. We have to honor the women that are following us, because you all have someone that is directly behind you following your lead, and you have to honor the women who will come. The women who haven't yet heard the calling, but will come behind them. You do that by playing big. You do that by stepping up your game. You do that by realizing that it is not about you, it is about what you bring to the table. It doesn't matter your title in life. It doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter your education. We said that people are products of their environment, but we have the ability to change that. Life is a series of choices, and I believe that anytime you take a choice, you choose, but you never get to go back here, because there becomes 2 more choices, and 2 more choices, and 2 more choices, and the only way to get back to that old choice was to go backwards through a lot of painful thorns and zigzags. So every day you have choices to make, and the choices you make determine who you become. The quality of your choices determine the quality of your life. We can all start making better choices, simple things, and each day a little bit harder. Each day a little bit better. Each day get a little more confident. Each day start to proclaim yourself with conviction. And each day learn to speak with authority that I am who I am, and I honor the God within every one of you, because I've been blessed from above, down, inside, out of me, and it is my responsibility to deliver with whatever method I have. If it's my mouth as a CA, if it's my body as the woman, the wife of a chiropractor, if it is my hands as the one delivering the adjustment, it is my responsibility to be the best that I can be. And so it is with you. So I ask you to change your way of thinking. Morgan told us that can't is just 25% different than can. I can. I can. I can. I will. I will. I will. You know why? Because I must. I must. I must. So I'm going to ask you all to make the promise to yourself to do a little bit more tomorrow, and a little bit more the next day, and a little bit more the next day, and start pushing out those boundaries that you have. Start pushing out the walls that you envision around you. Start getting out of your comfort zone and reaching out to your community, reaching out to the patients in your office, reaching out to the people you meet, reaching out to your friends, your family, and everyone you encounter, and showing them by your example that there is no limitation other than the ones we put on ourselves. Can you do that? Yeah. Stand up. We're going to say, until we shake these walls, I can, I will, I must. Are we ready? Yes. Ready? I can, I will, I must. Again, I can, I will, I must. Again, I can, I will, I must. I love and appreciate you. Thank you so much.